Wow, that really sucks. Speaking of which, man, what is prison like in Cyberpunk? Maybe there's a jail mission, but like, could you imagine being in prison in a place where everybody takes robot poops?
What? Robot poops?
Yeah, have you not played that far in the story yet? They go pretty in depth about the
No, I
robot poops in
haven't
Cyberpunk.
gotten there yet.
Hi, my name's Mason, the arbiter of cybernetic fecal matter.
And I'm Aubrey, recent college graduate. Unofficially.
Graduate.
Yeah. I'm a recent college educated personality. And welcome back to What Are We Talking About?
Yeah, hello. What's up?
Not much.
I mean, I guess we kind of sort of put something up last week, but it was something a bit different. You know, I've always been interested in doing that audio editing for a minute, trying that stuff out. I kind of wanted to see how it would go if I tried it with a video too.
Have there been any things that have really piqued your interest in our insufferable unending quarantine?
I honestly, this last week, have been unlearning how to communicate with the world and society around me as I have grown deeper and deeper into my newfound cyberpunk pit. I know, this game, a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people have things to say about it. I don't want to talk a whole lot about it. I know especially there are a lot of people who can't play it right now. Aubrey being one of those people, so I don't want to.
Well, I mean, I've lucked out that like my boyfriend has a nice PC and has the game, so like, whenever I'm at his place, I can give it a try, and I really do like the game. I wish I could play it, but I would like to say I'm super impressed with like the art and just the visuals. There's so much to look at. Like, I could honestly just spend most of the game looking around
Oh yeah,
at
that's
things.
jam-packed environment for sure. Also, jam-packed punches, which is mostly what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Mostly on the giving end. Mostly.
You've been really punching your way to victory.
I've been on that fisticuff grind, as they say. Almost maxed out my strength, just running around and punching evildoers in the face and stealing their drugs.
Nice.
It's been pretty much what I've been doing with my life outside of work recently. But as someone who is not, I guess, one such for the spirit of this holiday season, it's been a good filler.
Yeah. I found myself diving even deeper into a reality TV hole because, as longtime listeners know, I love my reality TV. It's absolute garbage, and I eat it with a spoon.
A very, very big one.
Yeah, like one of those massive serving spoons.
No, it's like
with
more like
no
a ladle.
slots.
It's a ladle.
Yeah, a ladle. Yeah, that could also work. And I will say props to the Netflix people for having great recommendation systems, because I swear I get something new recommended to me every week that I'm like, oh, Netflix, you knew. And this last week they recommended 60 Days In to me. Binged the whole one season they had on there in about 2 days, and then was like, where do I get the rest of this show? I need to watch more of it. And I found the rest of it on Hulu.
Oh.
I think they've got seasons 1 through 4 on Hulu, and there's season 5 on Netflix. And I think season 6 came out this year, but it's too new. I haven't watched it.
Okay.
To give you like the rundown, so 60 Days In is a television docuseries on A&E. It airs in over like 100 countries, and in this series, volunteer people, like just normal non-incarcerated individuals, volunteer to be incarcerated as undercover prisoners for 60 days. The show started in March of 2016, and the next season was in August of that same year. And both of the first seasons take place at the Clark County Jail in Jefferson, Indiana. Now, the Clark County Jail is the ones that started this, and they had the idea. Their sheriff, Jamie Knoll, was like, we have major problems here. When he took office, he noticed there were a lot of people getting thrown in jail because it was easier to get a hold of drugs in their jail than on their streets,
Oh.
which is freaking wild. They had like,
definitely at that point you gotta really take a look at
yeah,
things and figure something else out.
right. And this was like upon him receiving control of the jail. Like he was like, oh shit, I got to deal with all this. So he was like, well, I can't get police officers and I can't get other COs to go in and be undercover because they won't snitch on the people that work at the jail. And we need to know if they're doing stuff wrong too. So like, good on them for recognizing that and
Yeah,
giving this a fair shot.
I
The first
agree.
season, they sent in 7 people, and the 7 people did not get to know who each other were. Most notably of those 7 people was Miriam Maymay Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali. She had to go in under the name Yasmin Brown because obviously people might recognize her or her name just being Miriam Ali.
I caught that part. That's
And I do believe that Miriam's father died a couple months after this aired. During the show, she was talking about him like he was alive, and I was like, but Muhammad Ali died in 2016, and then I found out, okay,
oh
it was
well, yeah,
pretty close to each other.
that came out in 2016. Yeah, wow, that's
Yeah.
oof. That
Which there was a really great scene in one of the episodes with Miriam where she's sitting at one of the tables in the day room and the TV's on watching the news, and it brings up her father Muhammad Ali's statement against Donald Trump's Muslim ban because Muhammad Ali is Muslim. And she was sitting there panicking because she was like, they always show pictures of the family, and a lot of times that includes a picture of me and my dad, and they're
oh
gonna know. And like, so lucky, she's so lucky they didn't. And
oh
then it came up
wow.
later too, where she was eating food, and she was like, "What is this meat that we have today? Is it turkey? Is it chicken? I can't tell." And somebody goes, "That's pork," and I swear her mouth about dropped open because they're Muslims, so they don't eat pork. But she had to pretend like nothing was happening. They were like, "Are you Muslim? Do you not eat pork?" And she was like, "No, my family just didn't really have it growing up, so I just didn't know what it was." So it was
Hmm.
really interesting to see her in there and have to cover up the fact that she's Muslim because that might give it away that, she's not supposed to be there. She couldn't do her daily prayers, which was, super interesting because once she got out, she got her prayer mat back and she was like, oh my God, I can actually pray the right way.
I
It's just it's super interesting to me because this show doesn't focus on like, oh, look at these inmates being bad people. It's like they send in these people, a lot of which have the opinion that these are bad, worst of the worst people, and then they go in and they realize these are literally normal people who did something bad and they just want to get their life back. And to see a lot of the ways that these undercover inmates help and make a difference in some of these people's lives is just it gets me right in my feelings, man, because that's good humanity. And those people that are in jail, people that are in prison, they're people too. And yeah, they did bad things, but they don't deserve to be like labeled something forever for it.
yeah.
Which, yes, brings up a
It's
whole nother moral discussion, but that's not about this right now. Do you have any thoughts on the show though, since you've watched it?
I'm kind of upset that the topic of making toilet wine never really got brought up. I think one of the inmates had hooch stashed on him at one point, but like
Oh
I
yeah, that was a really interesting thing. Was they had a 2-liter bottle they were making hooch in, but then they were also making hooch in a literal trash bag, and like that hoe was
oh
filled a third of the way.
wait, there was coverage on them making hooch. Well, shit, never mind. My bit doesn't work then.
Well, no. It was brief. They just showed that they had the hooch, but they didn't say a whole lot about it.
Yeah, I wanted an informational diagnosis, and I wanted a how-to on toilet hooch and trash bag
Oh,
hooch.
yeah, because the way that they make regular hooch in sealed containers is the same way that a lot of like college freshmen have taken to making, dorm wine or whatever you want to call it,
I've
which is really
never,
interesting to me
I,
because you're in college, you're not in prison. Just go get somebody to buy it
yeah,
for you.
why, what? People did that? I mean, I knew people who hid their weed in like their light fixtures and shit like that, but
Oh my
I
God, in the
didn't.
light fixtures?
Yeah,
Ugh, what?
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, in
That's
that dorm, that was the only place, which is wild too, because there was a smoke detector. He went through a lot of steps to smoke in that dorm. I'll tell you
Yeah, but
what.
it's weird because they always said those smoke detectors were going to catch us vaping. Oh my god, one time I was vaping in my freshman dorm and
Yo, editing Mason? That's fucking sick, bro. You vape? You fucking vape? You blow some fat clouds?
that room was foggy and that fire, like the smoke alarm went off and I got so scared, but then it turns out it was just some girl on like the top floor with her straightening iron and she left it on. So, whew, dodged
Oh,
a bullet.
yeet. Oh yeah, I almost got sent to jail for your vape. Vape jail.
Jailed for vaping. Vape jail. It's a jail where no one's allowed to perform vape tricks. Oh, another thing that was weird was so I was like, I'm kind of on the side of like I still think you should allow inmates to buy cigarettes from commissary. Like they're in jail. If they want to smoke cigarettes, let them smoke cigarettes. Like they really don't have anything else. Just give them one thing. But the Clark County jail, they actually can purchase e-cigarettes from commissary. Not cigarettes, but e-cigarettes.
Well, I mean, I think the reason that you're not allowed to do cigarettes anymore is because it became like would always quickly become its own form of currency inside the
Yeah,
jail.
but it doesn't matter they'll use anything in commissary for currency. Like
Oh,
I
fair.
believe the standard now is ramen. Like ramen's the standard currency, or stamps will always be currency. But
Interesting.
you know,
You're just trying to get everybody to quit smoking, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I can't blame them for that. It's just I'm very much you shouldn't lose all of your free will.
Yeah, fair. I mean, even especially in like the low security, like just like county jail stuff.
Huh. Now you remember our buddy Robert, right?
Is this your topic?
Yes. Figured that was given.
No, you just no. You asked me if I had something that had been taking up my time, and I just said cyberpunk, and then you just started talking. So I just thought that this was like your small wonder or something. Like I didn't know we were actually doing a. Continue.
So our buddy Robert, he was about. If you go back and watch season 1, let me tell you, you'll hate Robert. No, it doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna hate Robert. He's literally acting like this whole thing is a mockery, like he's just here to have fun. And I'm like, homie, this is jail, and you need to take it seriously. And sure enough, when he gets in there, that bites him in the ass. But I'll leave it at that. But on the Wikipedia page here for 60 Days In, it says Robert Holcomb was also on TLC's Extreme Time Cheaters, which was a show about, people who like to just like do a lot of weird stuff to save time, I guess.
God.
Like I
He'd
don't
be the
know.
fucking guy to be on that show. That's like the fucking like 10 quick life hack tip videos on YouTube now. Oh,
Yeah,
who is a person that's talented for saving 5 seconds in their day?
I have no idea.
Sorry, I mean, just thinking of that man too, just so full of himself in a position where he really shouldn't have been. Thinking like seeing him on a show where he's showing off his fucking tax evasion skills. I'm just not. I'm not
Oh,
interested.
so I've been trying to figure out, like, is there something wrong with Robert? Does he do sketchy stuff? Because there's something about Robert that just doesn't sit well with me. He just got them crazy eyes. He acts like he's trying to act too normal. Came across a Reddit thread and it says Robert Holcomb from season 1 of 60 Days in jail for real, with a link to justice.gov, the Department of Justice for the
Oh.
Southern District of California. And it says San Marcos man sentenced to 46 months in prison for stealing the identities of charities as part of a tax fraud scheme. Robert Holcomb, 53, in
I was
2019, I
making a
guess.
joke about the tax evasion.
Yeah, and as soon as you did, I clicked on this, which was hilarious. He was sentenced in federal court today to 46 months of custody in order to pay a fine of $600,000 for misappropriating the identities of charities and using them to open bank accounts as part of a long-running tax fraud scheme.
Man, no wonder he was so full of himself on that show then.
Well,
He's
he
like,
mentioned that he does like charity work, so that's why I'm like, this could very well be him. Let's see what the rest. Can anyone confirm? I remember he'd mentioned doing charity work, and this article mentions that as fraud. He seems the same age as the arrested individuals. Could this be the same guy? The crazy talk certainly sounds like him. Oh God. Oh, yep. People have confirmed that it is in fact him, and they say he's gonna have fun at the country club and meditation retreat. which is what Robert directly referred to jail and segregation unit as, respectively.
Why do they keep calling it the segregation unit instead of solitary confinement?
Well, most places call it seg.
I see.
Because I guess in solitary confinement, you think of being alone, whereas like seg, you may be alone in that room, but you can't hear everything that's going on. It's like being in the middle of an asylum.
I see. Regardless about how I feel about the show, that is incredibly cathartic to see a man who was that sure of his abilities to evade being in jail wind up in jail. For real.
Wonder if I could find his mugshot.
Non-voluntarily. You ever just volunteer for jail so you can get a warm-up? I don't know why that made me laugh so much. Aubrey, why didn't you laugh? Now I sound crazy.
Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find this guy's mugshot. It's really important. I really want to know. Oh, God. Apparently, Robert has deleted all of his social media, but he does still have a Reddit, which is user/Robert325276, which was his prison number.
Own name and his prison number? Oh.
Well, it was his prison number when he was on the show. He mostly uses this to say the show was fake, claim stuff, and apparently in one post he even invites A&E to sue him. So, yeah, right here.
Cool.
Hopefully A&E will take me to court. Then the snakes and vultures will get exposed. I am calling Captain Maple Syrup a liar. Also, his name is Captain Maple, so that is so rude, but also, Captain Maple Syrup, kind of cute.
It's a double-edged. Depends on who's using it, I guess. Oh, man. Getting some concerning search results. Oh no, Aubrey.
What is your topic? Are you gonna reveal this?
So I wanted to talk about mall Santas today.
I don't like that. I know where this is going.
But I looked it up, and there's outside of context bit, there's a lot of news reports about mall Santas giving kids COVID right now.
Why are you taking your children to sit on a strange man's lap in a time when disease is running rampant?
I don't know. It's making me worried about talking about my thing, but a coworker of mine actually gave me the idea to see if I knew a mall Santa to get on the show to talk to about it, but obviously we don't have that.
Now that you say that, as a kid, there was this guy that went to this church that my school is associated with, and he literally looked like Santa Claus year round, like just in his face and hair and beard. So like when it was Christmas time, he would be Santa Claus like for a whole month, and like no one questioned it. We were all just like, this man must be Santa Claus.
Honestly, that's a vibe. Just getting into like your like mid to late 50s, you just sort of like fit the bill. So you know what? Fuck it. Santa's clothes are comfy. Might as well just wear them for the whole month. And while you're at it, I think we had an old dude that would walk around my hometown like that too. But what the fuck's up with mall Santas though? I don't need the history of St. Nicholas. I need dark history. Is Santa Claus dead? Is Santa real? Santa Claus origin. Sorry, yes. Also, the thing that was making me laugh so much earlier, when I was trying to look stuff up, was a search result that popped that tried to auto finish for me. Where is Santa Mall? Where is it?
I don't know. Where is Santa Mall?
It just pointed me in the direction of our mall, so no good result from that, sadly. Mall Santa. Okay, so we're getting around that time. Hell, even I think like a week from now is Christmas or something. We're getting close anyway. And there is one thing Christmas related that I've wanted to talk about, and that is the mall Santa. What is it? Why does it still exist? And how does he continue to befuddle child year after year, making him think he is the real Sandy? Think about it now. Isn't that such a crazy concept that this is a lie that we tell our kids?
Yeah, but also, you know what I was thinking about? Are we just all under the impression that Santa lives forever? Like, he is, was, and always will be an old man, and that will never end.
Well, I mean, when
Is
you're a
that the
kid, and you're being told these things, most kids don't really have the
well, I know,
conceptualization
but
of death in their heads
myself,
yet.
an adult child, would now like to pose the question: is Santa immune to everything? Or what's the word I'm looking for?
Immortal?
Yes, is Santa immortal?
He's a vampire. That's why he lives in the Arctic.
What?
Yeah. And he only delivers gifts at night, and he only comes in through the chimney.
Yeah, it would, really check out with the whole like no sunlight thing. And there'll never be garlic in cookies, so safe bet with that.
You literally never seen him. He's never been in a photo. Not the real one.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Is Santa a ghost?
Santa's not a ghost, he's a vampire. Case closed. I mean, the elves are his familiars. Vampires can get all sorts of weird lesser than familiars. Because I mean, like, those elves are not the elves that we know in our lore. Those elves are scrawny factory workers. Same pointy ears though. Isn't that weird? How did that happen? Like, who took from who though? Like, did the Tolkien elves take from the Santa elves, or the other way around? Like, who had the pointy ears first? Where did all this come from?
Wait, you think Santa has pointy ears too?
No. Wait. Maybe? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's never been depicted that way, but still, though, where did the elves get their pointy ears from? And why do they have the same names as those other elves that also have pointy ears? Where did Tolkien... Like, my brain is freaking out right now, dude. Did that come from Tolkien first, or was that a Christmas thing first? Who had the pointy ears? Which elves came first? Why aren't you also dying right now? This is fucking crazy. Which one happened first?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg or the chicken, or the chicken or the egg?
No, it's not even that. It's just like, which one happened first? Which elves?
If you have an answer for this, please send us an email.
Tolkien invent elves. Here we go. He did not invent elves, dragons, goblins. He did popularize particular concepts.
Where do elves come from? I guess Santa,
European
then.
folklore and myth. I mean, they were tree people in folklore, so.
Oh, tree people like Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas?
Sure.
Speaking
of which,
like that.
have we been talking about... It's funny that you mentioned Pocahontas. Have we been calling Santa's elves like we've been calling the Native Americans?
I mean, I guess. They might be something completely different, and Santa just wants us to think that they're elves.
Like I said, he's a vampire, and those little freaking gremlins are his familiars.
Vampires have familiars? I thought it was just witches.
In most lore, vampires can infect something and choose to either turn them into a vampire or turn them into a zombie that basically follows them like a servant.
No, I was not familiar with that part.
Well, yeah, because that's
lore. I thought it was like you kill them or they become a vampire.
Yeah, well, in certain... It got popularized in that way too, but in like stuff like Castlevania, the whole game, like the Grim Reaper and all that stuff. Maybe not like Grim Reaper, but like Frankenstein and all the other bosses and all the monsters and skeletons and shit. Like those are Dracula's. Like he's in control of all of them. Vampires are powerful beings in lore. Where did Santa elves come from? That's what I'm gonna look up now. Elves became linked to Santa in 1823, a visit from St. Nicholas, better known today as the night before Christmas. Poem refers to Santa as a jolly old elf. With the elf Christmas link established, other writers began to create with that idea. So Santa was the original elf, and then all of his little elves are... Oh God, are they his children? Is that it? Is that the truth? Does he use elf magic to spread cheer around the world, and he forces his children to make everything for him?
That would make way more sense, yeah.
Still
this is answering a lot of Christmas questions for me, personally.
doesn't really change my opinion of the holiday at all, I guess. But now I feel like I know more about it. Santa is an elven vampire.
Oof. Yes, he is. Confirmed. Absolutely confirmed.
Why doesn't he have the pointy ears then? I guess a lot of old Santa elf stuff, the elves didn't have pointy ears either. I think that was something that got added. You know what? I bet you when Tolkien came along and popularized like that version of elves, they also got the pointy ears too. Because I mean, it seems that the whole elf craze started when people started writing Santa as an elf. So it seems like a collaborative effort.
I was never under the impression that he was an elf, but I suppose that would
I
really help
think
put some pieces together.
I mean, you never really. I mean, thinking about it, they always just kind of refer to Santa Claus nowadays as just Santa Claus, you know?
Yeah.
And he never has had the pointy ears, and that's just, they make the elves have the pointy ears now, so that's a weird, like, mental brain gap that we as a society have.
Just unexplained problems with our societal lore.
With our societal lore. I think that's what memetics are, Aubrey.
Oh.
So this time we learned about how memetics work.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Interesting. Well, learned about sending regular people into jail and how it can sometimes make them go to real jail.
And how the truth behind Santa's ears will drive you crazy.
That's true. That's a true statement.
Well, we've managed to really crack these ones wide open. Or do you think you're ready to wrap this one up, Aubrey?
Yeah, I suppose, because we've left them with answered questions and unanswered questions, and
the state of things haven't changed, and that's good. Status quo has been reestablished. We are as confused as we entered.
Whew.
So anyway, next time on podcast, we make another podcast. I hope you're listening.
See ya.
Please listen.
Okay, I'll go.
Does anybody else's dog act like a literal baby?
Probably.